From your local election headquarters.
Draw turnout and get turnout to be high.
Can each side turn out their voters?
This is 17 News.
Pain of inflation we have not felt in 40 years. Seeing so many families in need.
With your complete local election coverage.
This one is potentially much more contentious. We're in a cultural war in this country.
And good evening to you. It is 5 o'clock on a midterm election night. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of 17 News. I'm Jim Scott.
And I'm Tammy Melchak. Thanks for stopping in tonight. After a roller coaster of a campaign season, the official tally of votes for the 2022 midterm election starts in just under 3 hours. Although ballots have filtered into the elections office for months, tonight marks your last chance to weigh in on contentious races and high-stakes ballot measures. Polls close at 8 o'clock, so if you haven't turned in your ballot yet, you still have time.
We have full team coverage ahead of tonight's midterm election tally. Our Maddie Gannon has more on why election night as we know it might be a thing of the past. Capitol correspondent Eitan Wallace in Sacramento tonight with more on the governor's race and last-minute efforts by the California GOP.
17's Michaela Armstrong will have more on our local city council races, and our Robert Price hit the streets of Bakersfield to find out what's driving people to the polls.
But first, we want to send things out to the elections headquarters in downtown Bakersfield. That is the county election headquarters, and that's where we find 17's Marco Torres tonight with more on what you need to know if you haven't turned in your ballot yet. Marco, good evening.
Good evening, Jim. Right now I'm here in downtown Bakersfield at the election headquarters, and we're already nearing the end of the election night. 3 more hours to vote, guys, and pretty much you can come here, vote in person, go to a drop-off box location as long as you get there by 8 p.m., the deadline for tonight. You can also mail in your ballot, but the thing, though, is you had to get that postmark today. So if you're going right now to the post office or you're already doing so right at 5 o'clock, well, the chances are you're not going to make that cut. A rainy and gloomy sky hovers over Kern County on this election day. Off and on showers pelt the concrete as voters turn up to polling locations across the county.
I encourage everyone to come out to vote. Don't let the rain or anything really hold you back from making your voice count.
Ballots will be accepted only until 8 p.m. This means that you still have time, but you're cutting it close. Throughout the day, voters have been battling the elements, but even the rain won't stop these voters from submitting their ballots.
At one time, my race couldn't vote, and races of other colors couldn't vote. So for me to be able to come out and just physically vote is honoring my ancestors and honoring my family.
Most polling places I visited throughout the day had little to no lines, but that can change this evening. If you're in line by 7:59 p.m., you are guaranteed the chance to submit your ballot. The same can be said about leaving your ballot at a drop box, but right at 8 o'clock, the boxes are going to be locked. Now, if you see a plastic tie around the drop-off boxes, don't worry, it's not the lock. Some voters say they are a bit worried about the drop-off boxes. Most of the concerns are about if someone will tamper with the boxes trying to get a hold of the ballots inside. But the chances of that happening are slim to none.
Only thing I hope is nobody sets it afire. That's it. I'm not afraid of anybody messing with me because I'm a tomboy. I'm not afraid of anything like that.
Now, election quarters here in downtown Bakersfield has seen quite a bit of foot traffic. I've been here throughout the entire day, and leading into right now here at 5 o'clock, there's even more people coming out just right out of work. Now, we're going to be back in about an hour at 6 o'clock with another update. Live from downtown Bakersfield, Marco Torres, 17 News.
All right, Marco, thank you. So, if you haven't voted yet but plan on doing so, you can learn more about state propositions and the candidates running for local and state offices by scanning the QR code you see on your screen here to find out in-depth articles, or to rather find in-depth articles that break down and explain each of the propositions for you and the races on your ballot. You can also head over to our website, kget.com, and click on the